Welcome everyone. How is everyone doing? Can you hear me? Right, Ellen? Yeah, thank you. Good to see you all. So we have our weekly consciousness class, Rewire Our Consciousness. What does it mean, rewire? It's like connecting all those wires that might just disconnected with all the interference of the physical reality and its illusion. So today we're going to connect to a very special portion. It's the portion called Shemot. We are starting the new book of Shemot. In English, it's called Exodus. So, of course, always the English translation, it's not going to be super accurate because when we talk about Hebrew, it has many depth and many understanding to it. This sacred language has many, many meaning to it. But definitely today, what we're going to learn of is really on the power of the Shemot. So Shemot means names. It's not like as English means Exodus. Exodus is just the byproduct, the effect of the names. So names, why it's so important, why everything is being called a name, why we've been having names that been directed and been channeled by our parents. There are many, many meanings to it. We're going to go into the depth and to understand and why we need to use names in general. Because we know in Kabbalah, there is a lot of use of a technology that relates to the different names. Yeah, especially in this portion. This is the seed level really to understand the names. Which names? We will explain. But first is why each and every one of us has a name to it. And what does it mean to have a name to a person? So a name really defines something, isn't it? It's an identification card, you can say, for a person. So if you say the name, the last name, you know who we're talking about. Hopefully, not exactly necessarily, but the names, as the Kabbalists explained to us, is channeled as the vessel for who we really are. So if we look at this slide, we see that the name Neshama, which soul, hold within it a name inside. You see the one that is in gray. This is Shem. This is the singular of the last slide, which is Shemot. So this is Shemot is plural. Shem is singular. What does it try to tell us? That in reality, any name is been downloading the soul to a person. It means when you call a person, you're not calling about his mind, you're not calling about his logic, you're not calling about his body. What you're calling about is his name. But many of the times we relate the name to a certain body, to a certain image, to a certain character, and that's where we stuck. But originally, the purpose of the names was to understand how the sparks or how the different variation, affiliation, and the segments of the creators are being downloaded to this creation, to this world. So it says, what was the purpose of creation? So the creator will be able to reveal his names, his nicknames. That's what's the purpose of creation. But of course, when you get to the continuing, understand that if we be able to reveal his names and his nicknames, his different branches, because there are many branches to the creator, there are many aspects to the creator. It's not just, of course, it's one force, but remember, this one force consists of everything that exists. So sometimes we experience the creator with a certain joy and excitement. Sometimes we experience it through love. Sometimes we experience it through creativity. There are many, many chambers and aspects to the creator. And the way to reveal it is through what we call his names. So what we're going to experience, we can experience eventually the joy. So the moment I actually interacted with one name of the creator or one spark of soul, as we know it, because we said name is a soul. In that moment, I'm going to be infused with an overwhelming energy of joy. So anytime there is a true joy in someone's life, it means that he actually climbed the levels of experiencing one of the names of the Creator. That's how it's really happened. Or we can choose the different shortcuts. There are many different shortcuts, even spiritual shortcuts that people uses in order to experience the Creator. Okay, so for example, there are many. We know that the angels are also different aspects, and they are symbolized. They are being framed through different names. There are many different angels according to Kabbalah, and we have different names. We have like thousands upon thousands of names of angels. Yeah, and everyone has different aspect, different job, different purpose. Everyone can help us to achieve also different explanation or different understanding of the light force. But of course, the moment I call upon the angels and to activate angels, I need to do it from the right place, from the right consciousness. Because if I don't do and I bother this angel, for selfish reasons or from curiosity, it could be kind of, slap me back in the face. That's the rules of the cosmos. This is the reason there aren't many people that can manipulate the wisdom of Kabbalah to their own personal needs and selfishness without having the consequences to that. That's the reason. It's called the wisdom of truth. Magic can happen through many different ways, and people use it, black magia, whatever the people use. But within the frame of Kabbalah, eventually there are going to be consequences to that. It means that if someone is like over curious and playing with different things that he's not really ready for, most likely he is going to end up experience the consequences for that can come in up to losing his insanity, becoming insane, losing insanity. So we need to be very, very, very cautious. It says that for everything that exists in this world, every light, any experience that we want to receive from the Creator, we have to create the vessel for it. Without having the vessel for it, the right vessel for it, most likely this light cannot be manifested in someone's life, And that's what we call the breakout of the vessels, when there is a stronger light that's been demanded, while there is a very tiny vessel to hold on to it. Okay, so because of that, we need to be very cautious. When we're demanding things, when we're demanding different level of success in our life, when we're demanding different relationships in our lives, different understanding in our life that we haven't earned yet, there is a danger for it. Because for everything that exists, I have from the frame of where I am in my life, I have to build the right house for it, hold on to it. Okay? So I found something with the Ari, and let's try to read it, that talks about and relates to this portion, because what happened in this portion? What happened in this portion, we know that the generation of Joseph, already most of them gone, only their sons and daughters remain, and suddenly there came a different Pharaoh that forgot all the relationship that the Israelites had with Egypt and all the blessings that they brought to one another. He forgot it and says, let's make sure that this nation won't overrule us. And there was a decision to take them out to slavery. So the slavery of the Israelite actually started in that time, okay? Say that before, like very, very far in the past, among the different nations that the Israelites were slave to or were in bondage to, were in exile to, those nations become powerful only to receive the Israelite under them. Because that's the only way they could actually control the Israelites. The Israelites, they're representing spiritual nations. And in order for them to go through the process of what we call the tikkunim, the corrections that all of those souls had to, they had to be restricted to a place when there is some kind of bondage, spiritual or physical. It doesn't matter. They say that the bondage that the Israelite experienced in Egypt wasn't necessarily physical. Because every time Moses were missing something and not able to supply them with something in the desert after the Exodus, they complain and say, take us back. Who wants to go back to physical slavery? You know, no one, isn't it? No one wants to go there. It means that what they experienced there, it's actually what we're experiencing now, where we are. It's the slavery of the mind, the slavery to physicality, the slavery to the illusion, the slavery for making the wrong choices for our soul. That's the slavery that we're talking about. This is the reason why those stories are so relevant to us today, because it's not talking about something that happened in the past. It's truly talking about what we're experiencing right now. So let's see what the Ari says about that in relation to this portion. So it said, because there are 70 faces to the Torah, we know that the Tikkunei of Zohar, the original writing of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, is 70 different translations to the word of Bereshit, which is Genesis, which is the beginning of the entire Torah. There are 70 different phases and ways for us to really experience the Torah. And all of them have different depths, okay? And one of them is, and here is Israelite descent to Egypt. So this is Ele Bnei Israel, the sons of Jacob, the sons of Israel, that are descending into the land of Egypt. Egypt, code name is the code of narrowness, the narrow mind, the narrow ability to see the big picture. Narrowness, it's limited experience of light, yeah? When something is narrow versus to something that we expand, this is really our biggest fight in life, really, from being narrow-minded to expand ourselves, because then we can experience greater things. So that's what Egypt is all about. It alludes that the child, while still in his mother's womb, among the wandering Egyptians. So it's comparing the descending of the Israelite into Egypt like the descending of the soul into the womb. And this is the comparison. Interesting, isn't it? And this is interrupted from those are the names of the children of Israel. So here again, the mentioning of the name just to tell us that we're referring to souls. Names are souls of the children of Israel, which are the power of the soul, because just as there are 248 organs in the body and 365 sinews, so they are in the soul itself, and they are the power of the soul, which come from Israel. Jacob, who comes in the womb, so Jacob represents, as it says here, the good inclination within the soul. And it's descending, the soul is starting to descend slowly but surely to the womb, to the uterus, and that's where the child starts developing. So as the child developing his different organs, that's how the soul starts to descend into it. As the physical, just as the spiritual, you understand? It's all interconnected. So the soul doesn't just come immediately, and also the only part of the soul, the seal, the completion, that only comes after the 8th day, after the baby born. So there is a process there. There is a long process. Yes, Rob. Yeah, but also there are more levels to the soul. So after the 8 days, the what we call the part, which is nefesh, is there. Yeah, and then the child have to earn it. So say after age 13, he's supposed to, if he's in the right place, of course, with the right education, with no interference. So then the next level, and when he gets married, it's the next level, and so on and so on and so on. But again, this is also has different aspects to it. There are many, many different aspects to the soul, so that someone can receive. But the idea is that it's descending to us. The names, as we understand, the names is a part of soul, is not something complete. Because the way we were and the level of consciousness that we had when we were children to where we are now is different. It means that we have much more brain capacity. We have much more ability to handle things, isn't it? And that's how it goes, as they already explained. So while the fetus is in the mother womb with Jacob, that is the good inclination, he said, those who come and know, he said that they have already come, according to the fact that the Creator creates the spirit of man in its midst, and explain in the Zohar that as long as a man grows, so does the soul enter to its midst, with premises of the body. As we go, as we gradually grow, that's how the soul grows with us. Again, but there are many, many things that someone can do that will interfere from the soul to grow, you know. So there are people that remain in their child phase, ignorant phase. So most likely that they did something that disturbed this process of allowing the soul to come in. Huh? Yeah. Infantile. We say sometimes even to grown up, you're acting like an infantile, yeah? Yeah, so what is it? It means that you kind of cut the process of allowing the soul to enter smoothly. Okay. Any question from the crowd? So in verse 52 in this portion, it says, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, קו, ומה כד השתזיב יעקב מלבן, כתיב יעקב הלך לדרכו, ויבגו בו מלאכי אלוהים, כד נחת בגלותה וקודשה, ואמר, אנוכי ארד עמך מצרימה. לא דינה אוהל לפתרונה, נחתה דיתחון, שמשו ימי, הנו דכתיב הבאים מצרימה את יעקב, רבי יעקב, דכפר חנן אמר משמי דרבי אבא. מה הנו בני ישראל דאחה, הנו דהתקרבו בני ישראל ממש. רבי יהודה states, we have situation involving a minor major infernus. And the time when Jacob was saved from Lavan, his father-in-law, and Jacob went on his way, and angels of God met him. Then when he descended into Egypt, the Holy One, blessed be he, I will go down with you into Egypt. And if the master descend, it is not the rule, all the more so that he attends will descend with him. Those it's written who come into Egypt with Jacob, instead of with him. Rabbi Yaakov of the village of Canaan asked in the name of Rabbi Abba, who are the children of Israel? Mentioned here, and he answered, those who are actually called the children of Israel, namely the tribe. So there is a question that's been asked here. First of all, one of the most amazing news, it says, when Jacob descended to the land of Egypt, God told him, listen, I'm coming with you. No worries. Wherever you are in the mud, in the midst of negativity in Egypt, in this place of magic, I'm there with you. You have nothing to worry. So in reality, we know that's where most of the righteous soul, most of us, we discover our own superpower. Superpower, it means that we're revealing the names of God within us. In those places, not in places of comfort, in places that I'm thinking I'm the source of all my abundance, I'm the source of all my talent, and so on and so on. It's where I feel that I am in bondage, where I feel that I'm not really myself, and I gave up already. Okay, I'm giving up. There is nothing that I can do. That's where the Israelites were. They went into the lowest of the lowest. They say that one level lower than that, it was the place of no return in terms of the soul level. It went down to the lowest 49 gate of negativity. So, but the good news is that the Creator told already the head, which is Jacob, tell him, I'm going to be there with them. That's where they're going to get to know who I really am and what I'm capable to do. And that's what really happened in Egypt. All the different miracles that took place, the plagues, and everything that happened that the Creator allowed the Israelites to see. And eventually all the crossing of the Red Sea. This type of revelation was the first revelation for people really to experience what none of the prophet actually experiencing. Because every layman, every simple person on the crossing of the Red Sea was able to experience complete prophecy. So that was the revelation of the names of the Creator. So we know when we're going to come to portion Beshalach, that's where all those 72 names, combinations been revealed. And through them, they experience what they experience. So that's part of the name. But there is a question here. Who are the true sons of Israel? Who are those? Who are those tribes? So you say, oh, those are the tribes. Because in this portion it says, Ele Shmot Bnei Israel. Those are the names of the tribes of Israel, the tribes of Jacob. So we said, okay, Shemot, we know it's souls. Okay? So there were 70 to begin with, and when they got out, there were already 600,000. So they started as 70, which is a code name. 600,000, it's a code name that eventually gets repeated over and over again. But those were the souls. But who are those souls? Where are those souls now? That's the question, isn't it? Is it referring to one nation? Is it referring to one religion? Who can really identify it? They said no one can identify it. No one in our world can really identify who are those sparks of those souls that belongs to the tribes of Israel. Question. Yeah. So with times, we know that there is what we call ribui agufot. It means that once there were only Adam and Eve, two parties, one female, one male, and then this vessel was shattered. Even though most of the pieces of the puzzles are already complete of Adam and Eve, most of it says that we are like the 9 billion people that remain. They are just the part of what we call the eel. It's the lowest part of the body of Adam. The rest is already corrected. It's already been purified. It's already been done. So all the 9 billion people, 9, 8, whatever, it's growing at the moment. Yeah. So all the people, we're just correcting the last part. It's essential part, because can a body move without the feet? Impossible. Even though like we are the lowest of the lowest, sorry to disappoint you, but it's very essential too. The body cannot function without it. The body cannot be complete without it. The celestial body of we call Adam cannot be complete, isn't it? So 9 billion, yeah, part of the eel. But now in the part of the eel, there is what we call the essential part of the eel. It means that the one that's sending the electricity to all the nerves and everything and activating every cell and cell. Those are supposed to be the son of Israelites. Those are supposed to be the one that are the kind of the leadership to stream the blood, to stream the energy to the entire parts. Yeah. But who are they? It's very hard for us as human to identify. It says that only Elijah, the prophet, in the time of Messiah, only Elijah or Moses can really identify who are those specific souls that we are talking about. That they are the one that really need to find the power inside of them and to get out of the bondage of the illusion, the bondage of the mind, the bondage of the belief system, this bondage that the Egypt represent. Yeah. So all of us in this boat, especially, it's impossible to be part unless you are into spirituality, is it? Because who are those lessons for? Those lessons for the anonymous people that don't care. No, they don't care about it. They don't know even of this existence. It's meant for us, the people that learning it. Of course, there are many ways to learn it. There are many channels to learn it. There are many depths to learn it. It's okay. It's okay. Everything is important. Everything is important. The light force of the Creator, the names of the Creator are revealing themselves in the language that every person can understand. This is part. It's okay. But when we coming to those special names that, as we know them, like those names that appear to us in the Zohar, in the different sacred books, in the Book of Formation, all of that, those are unique. Understand? This is not something that's been used by so many people in the world. It's we're talking about maybe 1%. What is my 1% of 9 billion people? 9 million? Yeah, so hopefully 9 million is already using those names. Yeah, and hopefully more and more, of course. It could be that we get to 9 million people that are already involved in one level or another with the name. I think even more if we take in the prayers that have been done in Hebrew, so many around that. But can you imagine? It's only 1%, 2%, let's say 5% of the population that's really involved with the names that we're talking about. But those are referred to the higher intensity of what the Creator is all about. Question?
Are you referring to language of the 17th God?
No, not at all. There are more. There are more names. If you're familiar, I'd say, with the book Dialing God, there are many names that have been described there. The Ana Bekoach, many names. Everything is names. The prayers are names, exactly. Especially the one that has the name of what we call God in it. There are many different. If someone is familiar with the prayer, there are many different names in many different formats. If you look at our daily prayer or Shabbat prayer, you will see many of them there too. Okay? But again, what feeding the soul, what awakening higher parts of our soul is when we are able to embrace those names in a meditation and we receive the energy from them. That's actually activating and allowing us higher level of our souls to be activated. That's the point. It's a technology, guys. When we're praying, it's not really about the prayer. It's not really about, because when you transliterate those prayers, what you see, oh, I'm praising the God, I'm praising him, say how good you are, like, that the God needs to know how great he is and been told by us. Like he cares, like he has a desire to receive from us. He doesn't care. What he cares, he said, I want you to reveal me. That's what he cares. So you can enjoy from me. That's simple as that. That's what he created. I want you to get to know me so you can enjoy me. This is it. So when we starting to see how we can dance with the Creator in this game of life, then we are so fortunate really to expand our experience of life. Yeah, and it's not rely only on 1% tangible things that exist, which are limiting us. Any question from the crowd on Zoom? Let's see, there are some remarks here. So all of us, yeah, someone asked here about the feet, the eel. So yeah, all of us are part of that eel that need to be complete. And that's where, when this eel will be complete, that's where the 6 millennia will complete. And we're going to start the 7 millennia. Okay, so it's not so far away from us. Now, if we are in the right consciousness, in the right understanding with the Creator, we can already experience what's going to happen to the general public, to humanity during the 7 millennia. We can actually live by that. That's how the Kabbalists lived. No matter how far they were in the process of the evolution, they were able already to live in that way. Yeah, to live in a place of immortality, to live in a place that can do mind over matter, and so on and so on. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that you're saying that. So whatever they're mentioning to us, that Esau, that represent the dark force, the dark side, he touched Jacob in his ear. Yeah. So the eel also represent the sinew, one of the sinew, which is the sciatic nerve, that belong. That's one of the sinews, one of those days as we know it, which is Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, that belongs to the opponent. This is his day. This is the designated energy that belongs to him. It's more related to that, yeah. But it means also because it's going throughout it's going from the spine all the way down to the heel, all the way down. But again, the ear is the most dense, it's the less important kind of organ, you can say. It doesn't have a lot of brain to it. It's not like here, where all the lights coming, descending from the upwards through here. So everything starts from here. Ideas start from here. Here, this is like the kind of, we need to receive, the ear need to receive the orders from the brain, through the heart, through the organs, and only then it starts moving. Yeah, it's the last thing. It's kind of the less important, but as we said, it's essential, because without it, it's impossible. So everything is essential no matter what. So even those souls that corrected the upper triads, as the Rab called it, the upper sphirot, even those want this evolution, completion of the correction to take place, because they know we're still not there without the feet. So let's go to the next verse. רבי אבא פתח ואמר, לכו חזו מפעלות השם אשר שם שמות בארץ, אל תקרא שמות אלא שמות, ואזלי כעוד אמר רבי חייא כדבנה דרכיה עבד, וקודשה ברכו בערה דרכיה איש אמן קלישים, בערה איש אמן קלישים. Rabbi Abba opened the discussion to bring proof to his word, saying, come and behold the works of Hashem, the Creator, who has made desolations in earth. Do not pronounce it Shamot, but rather Shemot. Shamot is a name that relates to the physical reality. Shemot relates to the sparks of the lights that coming from above. This follows similar thought expressed by Rabbi Xiya, that as the Holy One, blessed be He, has done in heaven, so He done on earth. Just as there are holy names in heaven, so there are holy names are on earth. Those are the names of the tribe which is written, those the names of the children of Israel. Getting back to the children of Israel, those souls, those important souls that have a very, very unique job in this world to lead the rest of the 9 billion people. Those are the souls that the names of the Creator was already inserted inside of them. And those are the ones that slowly but surely need to reveal this type of consciousness of how the Creator can manifest itself through us. We are the one. Because we know that the light is endless. Yeah, the light is never stop shining. But it can only shine through a certain name that built a vessel for us. The names are the vessels, like the Sphirot, they are vessels, even though they are, from our point of view, they are lights, but they are not lights. It says that everything that has a name to it is already a vessel. This is the reason how we call it the Creator, Ein Sof, endless. It means that we don't know what's your name, so we borrow a name that will give you no definition. We're not allowed to define the Creator because we immediately vesseling Him. We cannot vessel the light. Exactly. So a smart young man said that Ein Sof say what the light isn't. Very smart. So that's what it means. It means that whatever has a name to it, it's already a vessel. But in our point of view, we need those vessels, because without those vessels, we cannot really manifest light. You understand? That's how it goes. This means that the Ein Sof, the endless light, can only enter into a vessel. This is the point. So that's really the process of learning. So the Oli Ari of Tzfat, he made one of his volume from his writing was designed only to understand the names and the intention behind them. That's where we're downgrading it to the next level. It's not just about the names. Now it's about the intention. So he created a gate, it's called the gate of intentions, where it teaches us what would be the intention in everything that we do, especially during meditation, but not necessarily as things we see them as meditation. When you look at things and when the Kabbalists operate, everything was a meditation, my friend. Eating, dancing, singing, everything was a meditation. There is no other thing than meditation in this world. What is meditation? It's really to experience the Creator in everything that we do, physically, that's it. So, yes.
Yeah, I assume it's a focus.
So we're going to explain, you're right. So what is Kavanah? What is Kavanah? Kavanah is not just intention. One of its understanding is intention. The second is direction. And the third is focus, as you said. So it's intention, having a direction. What do I really want? You have to have direction in life. What I'm trying to achieve from this certain experience. So what is the ultimate Kavanah? What is the ultimate Kavanah, do you think? Exactly. This is the ultimate. If we can remember that while we eat, while we converse with someone, while we're doing an action of sharing, while we're taking a shower, while we're playing sport, while we do anything, if we know that all the purpose is really to cleave to the Creator, this is the ultimate Kavanah. This is the ultimate. But it's very hard. The illusion is so incredible that as soon as you go dumping yourself into the mud of the physical reality, you forget about the Creator, because the five senses are swallowing you and playing with your senses and stimulate you to a level that say, "Oh, where's the Creator? Oh, I have a good experience here. I have like some kind of pleasure. I don't realize that the Creator in this pleasure." And if I emphasize the name of the Creator in this pleasure, the pleasure was going to be much greater and going to be long lasting. Is that making sense? So this is the ultimate kavanah of connecting to the different names of the Creator. So yeah, that's how we draw down the different sparks. This is what we are collecting. So when the vessels get shattered, it shattered to so many sparks that entered to the place of impurity. And every time we're doing something with the right intention, let's say we eat, and within the food, there is the soul of the Creator, there is the experience of the Creator within it, but also it's wrapped with the taste, it's wrapped with the peel, it's wrapped with any. So we want to take the spark that exists with that apple or what have you, and differentiate between the two. Say, okay, yeah, there is the taste, but I'm for the spark here. I want the spark. Because the moment I collect the spark, I collect the name of the Creator that exists within this, I'm actually charging my soul. I'm elevating my consciousness. This is also one of our intentions eventually. to elevate our soul in everything that we do. So how those sparks came about? They started at the time that Adam left Eve and he went wandering. It's related, by the way, to a period that we just started. It's called Shovavim. It started on this portion for the next 6 weeks. And it's an opportunity for us. We're going to be presented by different opportunities to collect sparks of energy that went down into concealment, into the illusion, gave power to illusion, gave power to the opponent, gave power to the dark forces. And that we lost, each and every one of us lost, could be in this reincarnation, past reincarnation, could be all together, they're all related. So the moment we taking it as assignment in the next 6 weeks, together with the power of the names and our intention, we can collect back sparks that we lost. And Adam originally lost when he went wandering without his wife for 130 years. This is part of the correction that we're all doing. For 130 years, he actually went and spread himself, lost sparks of himself through sexual intercourse, through foolish acts. Shovavim come from the word naughty, to be naughty. Anytime we act childish, selfish, no responsibility, what happens? We're not thinking of what we're doing, we lose sparks. We gain sparks, we lose sparks. If you gain spark more than you lost sparks during one day, you're going to grow for tomorrow. But if you are losing more sparks than you're earning, you are in a deficit. It means that you are decreasing. Eventually, when someone lose a lot of sparks of his soul, the soul say, okay, I no longer can strive in this body. Ciao. I'm going to another body. Bye, body. And the person dead. That's it. Of course, before he dead physically, he probably going to start dying energetically and losing all his spirit and his passion of life, and it's going to be, sad and all of that. That's the process. But if someone leaves the world while he's happy, it means this completion. He's satisfied. He says, I don't care. I'm going to leave. I'm going to die. I'm doing my max. I'm enjoying the creator. Yeah? So if he leaves the world, it means that's it. The soul finished his journey. But if someone else leaves the world because in early times because he lost too many, he spread himself too much out. He wasn't focusing on collecting those parts. So there is no reason for the soul to stay in this body. So this vehicle will take me nowhere. Get rid of it. Let's find another one. Who needs this vehicle? So yeah, we said that Anochi Yered Imcha Mitzrayma, I will, the creator, I'm with you there and I will help you to collect the sparks. Jacob's intention was to bring all his lineage, there's a word to that, offspring, all his offsprings to Egypt so they can correct themselves. Okay, so when this is like a big lesson, this you can take one lesson from today, it's that. So we know everything works on desire, yeah. So I want, it's a definition, one of the definitions for desire. So, but the I want that we know, it's not what we call real desire yet. It didn't go through the fourth phase. It didn't come to a place that I must. Okay, so I should do this. I should make this change. I should, do this diet. I should go to the gym. I should be a more, kind person. I should stop this. I should. This should. It's a certain awareness, but it can remain like that all my life unless I turning the should into must. That's the difference. If I'm coming to the place, I think we talked about it last class, no? But it's important. I have turned my process from I should to I must, because that's the only time when I can really cleave to the Creator. The Creator doesn't live or assist in that place where I should. He only works on a true must desire from a person. That the person said, I can no longer live this way anymore. That's it. That's it. I cannot. That's it. I don't know what to do. You send me here, you help me. You are my partner. You be my partner. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. How many of us live this way? And for how long? In how many cases? This is intention. This is kavanah. If you want to really understand kavanah, this is what we mean when we say kavanah, intention. It's have to turn into I must do this work, because the soul deep inside, that's the vibration that it operates on. I must, but the body says, shut up, let me have the chocolate, shut up. It's shutting down the soul and doesn't really allow it to emphasize itself. So, we don't do much in that term. So the moment I put myself, even if I don't know exactly how to get there, but this must will activate action. And the action eventually turn to a relation with the Creator, that the Creator will reveal himself to me. Because I'm awakened to this desire from below, the Creator must reveal himself. Remember, the light is endless, is always here. I build the vessel. I ask the question. What is the must? To ask the right question. The Creator, what do you want me to do now? I have no idea. What's direction? Is that the right direction for me? Should I come to my Akroba? Should, what do you want from me? Where I'm going to get more of your sparks? That's the question. Being practical, where I can collect more of the sparks that you want me to collect. That's the question. If I'm not asking the question, I have no vessel. There is no vessel, there is no answer. There is no Creator that can reveal his name, his next name to me. Question, when you talk about Adam wandering, does that explain why husband after marriage start to wander or become lost or enjoy physical world by having extra? It's interesting. The intercourse between a man and woman, usually where it's designed to happen, and spiritually also, by the way, in complete darkness. And what happened in this intercourse? Reveal the most light. In intercourse, reveal what is the most light. It's a creation. A baby come to the world. A new soul come to the world. It's insane how incredible it is. So it's a very, very, very high level. But if someone doesn't really appreciate it, doesn't appreciate the relationship that he has, doesn't see the God, the feature that are inserted into this relationship, so of course he's going to go and look for something else. If he saw only the physicality, the physical joy within that, so of course he's going to go and wander around, because he's going to actually insert all the light into the illusion. So he's going to go and wander for illusion too. So yeah, it's true. There are different Kabbalistic techniques how to preserve the holiness in an intercourse, how to preserve the holiness between the relationship between man and woman, that it won't fall into that. There are ways to do that. Okay, we have another question. The Kabbalistic technique to keep the holiness in the intercourse is to have the right kavanah, to cleave the Creator. Yes. We call it חיבור של קודשה בריחו. חיבור קודשה בריחו עם שכינתה. It means like to connect the two aspects of the lights together. One is the vessel, one is the light. Everything that we do, everything. Not just the intercourse, everything. Listen, most of the people, that's where they'll lose most of their points. Sexuality, unfortunately. So this period is the perfect period to correct that, because there is so much light in that. That's the time that we can actually lose the most points, lose the most sparks. You understand? So many of our misdeeds up to Adam and Eve were related to intercourse, related to sexual behavior. I wanted to add another slide about the different names that we're using during this period, but I forgot this slide. So please text me, and I will send you this meditation that we're going to do for the next 6 weeks, really to retrieve all those sparks that we've been talking about, this period of Shovavim. Okay,